Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric and I'm back at you with another video, and today we're going to cover more insane fat activism on TikTok. That's right, the movement keeps growing and growing and growing, and that's why you have me, your faithful sidekick, out there to debunk all the nonsense out there. So let's just jump into it right away. Let's go.
Having a preference is something like, I'm looking for a partner who likes kayaking, or wakes up early in the morning, or loves pizza. But when your preferences exclude an entire group of marginalized people, that's problematic. That's fatphobic. It's like lumping all black people in one group and saying, I don't like black people, is racist.
Here you go again, saying that fat people are part of a marginalized community when you take up more space than any other community out there. I mean that literally. You take up more space than any other community out there. And I'm getting sick and tired of all these fat activists comparing their plight, or their situation to that as black people and saying it's the same as being racist. It's not. Black people cannot help but be born black. They are born with extra melatonin in their skin. That's what gives them their color. They cannot help but be born that way. You, my dear, can help your size. Okay, if you say that you're marginalized, well, guess what? You put yourself there. Maybe you have a victim complex. Maybe you want to be seen as a victim. And that's the whole problem here, is that you don't realize that you can change and get yourself out of that victim mentality. If you can't find a job, that's your fault. If you can't get a boyfriend, that's your fault. I mean, if you don't like the way that guys look at you because you're overweight and you wish that they would like you, you can't be putting out TikToks like this and expecting that guys are just going to fall in line for you because they're like, oh, I guess I'm fatphobic then, and I don't want to be fatphobic, so I'm just going to go ahead and date you. That's not how it works.
Using mobility aids is a sign of strength and self-care, not weakness or defeat.
Are you kidding me right now? I mean, the fact that you put yourself in a position where you cannot walk through the grocery store and you need a mobility device to get around absolutely is a sign of weakness. It is a sign of defeat. You have given in to your addiction and you've fallen so far that you can't even go to the grocery store and walk around. And I put a video out many months ago about me being able to go to the grocery store for the first time in years. So I understand what that's like. I was in a position where I could not go walking around the grocery store. I made my mom go shopping for me, or my friends go into the store and shop for me while I sat out in the vehicle because I couldn't walk around. And I was too embarrassed to get in a mobility device. Now, I'm not saying that if you have a legitimate disability and you need help to get around, that that's a sign of defeat for you. You have absolutely no choice but to ride those things and to get around and go grocery shopping for yourself. That is no problem. But if you put yourself in that thing through actions of your own, that is a sign of defeat. You have given up. And you have not even taken your lack of mobility as a sign that maybe you should start taking control of your life and getting your weight under control.
Today, let's talk about the trauma of growing up fat. I was a chubby kid growing up, and when you're young, everyone thinks it's so cute that you have these chubby cheeks, you have chubby arms, you have big legs, like they love you because you're so cute. And then when you get older, they start to turn on you and they shame you for being chubby. I was 8 years old and people were already telling me that I had to lose weight if I wanted to have a boyfriend, that I had to lose weight in order to find love. At 8 years old, you're already telling me that my life is determined by how my body looks.
I've told my story on here many times about how people have told me when I was younger that I needed to lose weight, and I was forced to ride exercise bikes and forced to get on diets and all this stuff. And it's one thing to grow up and think, wow, that was traumatic for me, that people cared about me enough to tell me that my life would be complicated if I just would lose a little bit of weight, if I didn't get things under control. The reality is that if I took their advice and realized there was a problem from childhood, that my adult life would have been much less complicated. If you're a child and somebody is telling you that you're getting a little big, that maybe you need to start working on that, that maybe you won't find love, maybe you have a difficult time finding a job, that your life will be complicated later on if you don't get your weight under control, you need to listen. That's not traumatic. That's people being honest with you. That's people loving you and caring about you enough to realize the complications and the difficulties that are coming up in your adult life if you do not get your weight under control.
Consider fat to be unattractive is just, it ain't computing to me. Because if we start to think down a line here, what about all of like the models, you know, modeling for cigarette brands? Is that unattractive? No. Millions of people would choose the cigarette over the fat body. I really don't want to go down like a whole thing, but it really just comes down to like shallow people.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard her say, and I've heard her say a lot of dumb things. I mean, I know a lot of people who consider smoking to be unattractive. I'm one of them. And if you're a smoker, I'm not trying to put you down, right? Like, everybody in my family are smokers, and I've been trying to get my mom to quit for years, but she's been smoking since she was 16 years old, and she just has a difficult time. I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. If you have an addiction to smoking, I feel really bad for you. Maybe you want to quit and you can't. Maybe you've tried to quit. Or maybe you're like my mom and she seems to enjoy smoking. Once the consequences of her smoking are starting to catch up with her now that she's getting older, I get more and more scared for her. I don't think it's shallow to want to be with somebody who has an unhealthy addiction. That's not shallow at all. That's actually pretty smart. We're not all perfect, no. But it's not shallow to turn down a fat body if you don't think that's attractive.
If you work out because you want your body to look a certain way, you don't care about health, you are fatphobic.
First of all, wanting to work out and tone up and look good does not make you fatphobic. We all have this desire to want to look good, right? I know some people just kind of give up on it and they stop shaving their legs and they stop working out and they gain weight and they don't think it's any kind of big deal. All right, fine. That's your preference. That's what you like to do. If that's how you want to live your life, then go ahead. But many people try to work hard so that they can look good and feel good. There's nothing wrong with wanting a little confidence in yourself, knowing that you're a little toned and you're looking good and feeling good and all that other stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's no different than saying that this woman probably put on makeup that morning. She probably took a shower and put makeup on and did her hair and put on a nice dress and whatever to make that TikTok. It's no different than wanting to work out. Like, you're going to do whatever you can to make yourself feel better, to have some confidence in yourself. You want to look good. So how is working out any different than her putting on makeup to do that TikTok? Oh, it's only fatphobic because you don't want to be fat, but she can look good, but I can't look good? I mean, it's totally hypocritical. And this is the kind of nonsense that we need to call out. Anyways, this is my video for today, guys. So I hope you appreciated it. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about these TikToks. Should I do more of these? Let me know. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Please subscribe. See you next time. God bless you.